Hello, everybody. Yeah, George is here. George is here. Hello, brother. Hi, George. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
Good
good,
morning.
brother. We missed you.
Good morning.
Miss,
Same here. How are you?
I'm great, thanks God. Since my beloved Lynn is okay, I'm okay. We
You're
are
great.
okay. You can imagine how improvement she got. Oh my God.
Oh, that's
Amen.
beautiful. That
Amen. Amen.
amen. We've been praying for
Amen.
her. We've been praying
Oh,
for her.
sure, sure,
Yeah.
everyone. And you know the
Everyone.
new book, the new book we are writing. It takes a village. Did Lena talk about this to you?
I
The
don't I
book,
maybe briefly I remember it.
It
Mhm.
takes a village is a book. It's telling the story of Lane's experience with cancer. Actually, she wrote three books before. We wrote together because I'm part of her disease, of course. And It Takes a
Right.
Village is a wonderful title, which first we plan to make another title. It Takes Two. That means that if Lynn has cancer, I also, as a husband, we are two in cancer, not only,
Mm.
emotionally, okay? So we started writing it, and then she told me, you know what, Taufik, we can make it. It takes a village because it wasn't only me and you, but everyone who prays. And we
Everyone.
mentioned
Yeah.
you too because you are our, and you are a pastor, you are some a believer one, you are a religious person we respect that part from you as a Christian. And Lynn as a
Right.
Jewish, and I'm a Muslim. So it
Yeah.
takes a village. Me,
Yeah.
Lynn, you, and all people who prayed, and that's it.
Yes.
So I expect it. And you know what? It's we finish our part, me and Lynn, and we're receiving because we decided that since we say it takes a village, we decided that other people are invited to send the writing. I don't know if
Yes.
Lynn asked you that, but it's not necessary for you. But anyway, and people start sending articles about it takes a village, so it will be a stunning book. We
Oh,
are,
wonderful.
wow, we write books, and you know that we have Amazon. We publish through Amazon, Kindle, and paper books, and we put on our website. Our website from where we promote our non-profit company, Lynn's Kids
Yeah.
organization. Anyway, so this book will be posted or will be posted in Amazon, in our website, and the good news, people who really supported us because they're not little, they're not much, no. A few people who really shows the real friends. Hard times always reveals the true friends. We
That's
went through
true.
hard, and you are one among those true friends. So my my
I
my my
appreciate you.
my, my gift for you, me and Lynn, we will send you a free copy of It Takes a Village. So
Thank
anyway,
you.
Lynn is looking for. Okay, Lynn, just listen. I'm there. George is here. Go ahead, Lynn. Anyway, how are you, brother? I talk too much. I'm sorry. I
Otherwise,
talk too much.
no, no, no. You're
Uh,
fine. You're fine. I'm a
okay,
little
tell
under the
me
weather,
more.
but I'm
Tell me
okay.
more. I'm listening. I'm wide
Yeah,
listening.
yeah. I'm a little not feeling well today, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Just
Good.
the thing that's going around, but I'm okay.
Yeah, we should be okay. Beautiful people do not just happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, yeah. Beautiful people are like that. No one can be okay all the time. And it's okay to
Right,
not be okay. You know that? It's
right,
okay to
right,
not be okay. That's it.
right,
So,
right,
yeah. Lynn,
right. But otherwise, everything
Lynn,
else is okay.
hello, Lynn. She's joining. Okay, waiting for Lynn.
Okay.
Sweetie, it's joining. Just wait, okay? I'm talking to brother George. She's joining. She has a problem with her connection.
Oh, with
So,
coming in.
yeah, I'm going to fix it. Okay.
Okay.
I approved you, sweetheart. You are there? It's Jolene. It's Jolene. Okay. Don't go understand. Okay. Only coffee? Oh, okay. Hi, George. We are trying to have Lynn connected.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah. Yes. Connected to be. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will try. Can you do it? Go out. Put it in the game. Okay. Go to the
Okay, she's
She's
here.
okay.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hi, George.
Hi, Lynn. How are you?
I'm great. Oh, there he is. Okay, I
Good.
got him. Okay,
Good.
I'm very good, thank you. I still have the Village Pools, the rest, everything is very good. Okay,
Right. I understand.
yeah, I don't want to waste too much of your time, which it won't be a waste because it's really, really a good thing. Why do I see only you, Taoufik? I would like to see George too.
You didn't let me to fix it. I'm coming.
I gave you plenty of time.
George, my
Okay.
Can you
name
see me?
is. Yeah,
Oh,
wait.
he's so slow, George.
You didn't let me to do it, okay?
That's okay.
You can see him now.
Okay, I got it now. Bye. Bye,
George,
Taoufik.
she
Go
told
away. Okay, that's it. Let's start. Okay, so what I did last week is I told some women about Renata, and you're gonna come to one of the Saving Souls meetings, and you're gonna flash what she does in the background. So we'll talk about that. That's not a problem. In fact, maybe one day she can come. That would be an even better idea. So I had some wonderful ideas, but before I discuss my wonderful ideas, which take a lot of time, and you know that, George, better than Tofi, I know you longer.
Yeah.
Explain to Tofik and to Lynn, because I read about it, but it's easier to hear it from you, about your affiliation with Harlem newspapers.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. So I am right now doing freelance writing with the Harlem Times. The
Wonderful.
Harlem Times is an independent newspaper that's been
Mhm.
around 20 years. And
Wow.
I write articles for them. Also,
Mhm.
I do articles where we feature pastors that send in their videotapes weekly and their bios. So some of the leading Protestant pastors of Harlem or New York City or around the country. And
Mhm.
I'm also with another publishing company where I'm doing some ghostwriting, and I'm supposed to be writing 3 or 4 autobiographies of pastors and other people that I know.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So it's a little slow going. So of course I could use some opportunities, but otherwise that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing substitute teaching. Today I couldn't go in because I have a stomach bug. So I'm just trying to sit still
Mhm.
until it passes. But other than that, everything. So that's what I'm doing with the Harlem
Okay, so
Times.
listen carefully. So as you told me these things and I read all the information you sent to me, I didn't share it with Tofik because I didn't have time. He's doing certain things for me. I'm doing certain things. But I got the wheels started. You know how my wheels are when they get started.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you know better than anyone. The wheels
brilliant.
started, and I said to myself, what would happen if George wrote an article about Lynn's Kids and Saving Souls Women's Network, and I'd give you all the points, the pluses, everything that we've done. Could that go into the Harlem Times?
I believe, yes, I believe it could. Yes.
I'll write all the points to you, and if you can get that in, then an article about the members. I just thought of this because Taoufik, everybody will have to send Taoufik pictures. The members of only Saving Souls Women's Network, because that's the one I love the most. And we'll put you down for that. So if you picture of George, a picture of Lynn, a picture of this one, a picture of that one. And we will write down what has Saving Souls accomplished. Well, you didn't come to the meeting, George, where I introduced a young couple from California whose mother was trying to, the girl's mother was an ex-friend of mine, and she was trying to get this kid into rehab. She was a druggie, she used liquid meth, and it was some meeting. And this meeting, she talked about how Saving Souls saved her. Right now, she is a drug counselor for other women and her boyfriend for other women. The sad part about this girl, and she's willing to talk about it because she talked about it at a Saving Souls Women's Network. This girl was crossing the state, going to Nebraska for a wedding. She had her baby. She has like 4 kids. The other kids stayed home, thank God, with their father, because the father had custody because she was a liquid meth person. But her little baby, she had custody of. And she put the baby in a car with a driver who was maybe 18 years old. And the cops pulled him over. Not to say that even in Nebraska, she was pulled over. Kristen was taken to jail and arrested immediately for child abandonment. And Pablo's son also. So was also taken to child services. Kristen's mother couldn't get the baby because she couldn't get there fast enough to get the baby. So the baby went into social services, into the welfare, and you know how bad that is. But the baby had a wonderful person named Amanda who took care of her. When their court time was over and their jail time was, not their jail time was not over, but after half of their time was over, they said that now if her mother wanted to come and claim the baby, she could. So Vicky traveled to California, of course, as a grandmother, claimed the baby. Pablo's, the boy's grandmother, traveled to Nebraska to claim the child, so the child was no longer in child custody. And that's the happy part of it, but Kristen still had to prove herself. When they came home, they decided it was enough of this shit. But they had a party. And it started again. This is even after having lost Gabby. So what happened? Her mother kept custody because they wouldn't give her back, and the grandmother kept custody. They still had no responsibility. That's when, well, I was in the picture the whole time. That's when we got her she was back into counseling, but into an in-house, which is what I wanted. Nobody listened to me. An in-house, so she had to stay for 6 months. And she had to check in. She couldn't leave the house unless it was okay for her to leave. Needless to say, now, 2 years later, she is teaching other people about drugs. And she said that if it wasn't for Saving Souls, her life wouldn't be saved. And that's a good endorsement for us. And I did it with the love of Saving Souls. And of course, when we do Saving Souls, we don't charge a penny. This is all for free. And the article should be saying that if you need help, we're there to help you for free. Next, Saving Souls stories. We have a million of them. You know, Fran Shannon and I did, even with Saving Souls, did a 6-month stint at the Bottomless Closet. That's affiliated with the Homeless Coalition. What they do there is they give women, this is wonderful, they give women who go back to work, they give them clothing to wear, and they get to keep the outfits, even though they were homeless. And now in one of these, we went, like when we went to the shelter, the transitional program. So they have their own apartment, they have a job, maybe they want a better job. So we make sure that they get clothes and we walk around with them. Fran and I did their resumes for them for free. We spruced them up, made them a little better than they were. Because Bottomless Closet just gets the clothes, gets the donations. They don't know what to do with this stuff. Not that they don't know, they don't have the time. Okay, so we took care of that through Saving Souls Women's Network. Now for Lynn's kids, I have a million stories. I will send them all to you, George. I don't want to take 2
Okay.
hours of your time for this stuff. Now for Lynn's kids, I can't tell you how much we've done. I could say we went into every country via the internet, God bless, virtual, through Zoom, and we taught children from other countries. Did it cost them anything? No. We adopted an orphanage in Beni Malal, and we talked to the kids online. These are all kids that have sicknesses, and nobody wants.
Bni Mellal is a city in Morocco.
Right. I'm going to fill him in, Taoufik. Anything I lose, I'll send it to you. You'll correct it first, then I'll send it to him.
Okay.
It's Taoufik, of course, has taken videos of these kids. He's brought me to other kids that he felt I could help. Taoufik on his own spoke to, this is why I say everybody involved with Lynn's Kids and Saving Souls are people like you, George. They give us, not take us. That's why we're in the shape we are financially. Because we give and we don't know how to take. Okay, so
yeah.
After that, Taoufik got involved with the doctor. I'm not sure, Taoufik, what city the doctor was in, because this little girl, let me finish and then you'll tell the story. The little girl had cancer and he couldn't stand the word cancer.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Lynn. I'm so. Can you please fix the camera?
Don't worry about my camera. I have to have it like this. You know what I look like instead of this. Forget the camera.
This
stuff.
is
You
George.
like to be
This
on
is
camera.
only brother George.
It's okay.
This
It's
is only-
okay.
He knows what I look like
It's
with the
okay.
eyes closed. Okay.
It's okay.
So he got involved, Mr. Taoufik.
Love you.
I love you too. He got
Okay.
involved with a doctor in a hospital, talking to the family. He got them involved with this doctor. Go ahead, Taoufik, tell the story because you know it better than I do.
Which kind of story? Just
The
a
story about the little girl who had cancer, Taoufik. That you hooked up the
Where?
doctor with the family. The little girl was on chemo. She was so sick.
And
you spoke to both the doctor and the family. The doctor was willing to help them.
I'm sorry, I
Okay,
don't
so this
remember.
is, I'm telling
I
you
don't
the story
remember.
to
You
him.
can tell in it.
Okay, so
There were a lot of
got-
people
okay, so
involved with cancer in hospital. You can say it, please, baby.
yeah, he got
Thank you.
himself hooked up with his family for no reason, well, because he's a good person. He knew
Okay.
the family. The brother, I think, was a friend of his, and he got them to a doctor. This is like amazing. We're in the United States. They're over there in Morocco. How do things like this
Okay.
happen? Because we want them to happen. Okay, we also had Vinod Vadhanka come here. And you know, Vinod is from India, a wonderful educator and a brilliant man. And Vinod and I did, we're crazy. We do all kinds of things. We did a retrospective on why life here is the way it is, because in India they don't allow hatred. I don't know how you do that, but we didn't do that. We did Sagamitra and Sangroon. Sangroon is a woman's project. Sagamitra is teaching children how to pick up garbage from home and only from the house, because you don't want any kids getting infections and you're blamed. And so they have to take it from the house, they have to bring it in, but their government pays. Their government pays them per pound for garbage. Here, I begged Mayor Bill, because I knew him. I actually helped to get him elected. I want to shoot myself, but that's not important. Mayor Bill to do the same thing for us, and he looked at me like it wasn't important. We're teaching children something good. Fran Shannon and Lynn, we should say Lynn started the program, Fran Shannon backed me. I was in 10 schools. It was called From Seed to Soup Kitchen. The program started 6 years ago here. And Fran and I presented it to New York Cares. But we needed partners. This is a big thing. And Lynn's Kids is no stranger to, and Saving Souls is no stranger to New York Cares. So what we did is we picked up, we did it, what this program is. This is a free program. I'll go into any school to do this. We worked in, let's say, it was 10 schools, but when Taoufik came in, it was, I think it was PS 140 and Two Bridges. Two Bridges is a Chinese association downtown Manhattan. And, and near Rivington Street. What we did is Fran Shannon got people to donate seeds. I think it was Home Depot or one of those places. Well, first I came in for 1 month before we did anything. And I told them about poverty. We read poverty statistics. I knew some of those kids were very poor. I didn't mention them. That's why we did it. And then we experimented at two bridges. Taoufik wasn't there for 135 in Brooklyn. And we experimented at TS 140.
What? Yeah.
Okay, at TS 140. This is way before Taufik's time. So what
No,
we did,
I attended the
okay,
140
thank you.
project.
I'm in the middle of telling him. So what we did
Okay.
is after telling them poverty stories, we planted the seeds, and they were
Mhm.
so excited. Everyone had a backyard or an upper roof to plant on. 135 had such a huge yard. Um, 140 had a small space, and two rivers had a nice space. We planted it. When the produce came back, we decided before, though we had so many seeds, that we were going to stick in the beginning just to see if it worked with, it was fruits and vegetables, because that's what poor people need. They don't need junk food. I explained it to them. We made in 135, they're brilliant kids, Linden Boulevard in Brooklyn. We made Linden and 48th. We made a menu, a healthy menu. So we gave the healthy menu to PS 135. We planted it, we washed it off. I became a very good friend of a woman named Greta, who was in the soup kitchen, which really was a soup, a food pantry on off Linden Boulevard, close to Lenox Road. So I took my stuff and we had washed it off. I took 20 children with me, and those children, we have Tofik has wonderful pictures. That's not 135, but they're great pictures. Those
Okay.
children, you don't have anything from 135 because you weren't a part of that.
Yeah, I
So,
have two bridges and 140. Go ahead.
okay, I don't want, that's not what I'm talking about now. I'm talking about PS 135.
Okay.
So I had a better relation with them because I had taught in that school for 30 years. And when
Oh,
I
wow.
retired, these wonderful white teachers said to me, I'll never forget this as long as I live, why would you want to come across these people? When you are finished with them, you have a pension. I said, these people, I'd rather be with them than be with bigots like you. They hated me
Yeah.
because I went to parents' houses for birthday parties. They hated me. And I didn't give a shit, you know me. So we got some kind of a special service award. We were invited to a dinner at the soup kitchen with the kids. The kids were so proud, and that's what made me feel good. But when I left there, because I had other things to do, I opened the library there. They had closed the library. How do you close a school library? So after being there for 30 years, I wound up back working without a paycheck, and I loved it more than anything else in the world. Because I
Mm.
took these kids to global projects, not library projects. I introduced them to the kids from Sierra Leone, and they did pen paling. That's how Cultural Bridges started. So to say we're willing to go into any school and do any of these projects for free, I prefer a school where they will appreciate it, not like a
You,
pearly white
Lynn,
school.
you
Like
didn't
Gordon,
say
1 minute, Sophie. Like Gordon suggested the UN school. These kids are all white and they all have a lot of money. Why the hell would I give them my services? They're going to be the people good. The way that you and Kofi are going to figure out when you and Kofi do business projects, they're going to be the type of
Yeah.
people that we get the money from, so that we can supply the poorer children who need it. Take like Robin Hood, take from the rich, give to the poor. I totally believe in that. So, what did you want to say, Tofik?
In this project for gardening, we called it from seeds to soup
Seed to soup
kitchens.
kitchen. I told him I made
Okay,
them.
now let me finish, sweetheart. So we didn't only help planted seeds and help kids how to do that. The main goal was to teach children
Yes,
how
I
to
said
be
that. You missed
responsible.
that part.
And what you didn't say, once we planted those seeds, it took almost 1 month working in
Yeah,
that. And later we got the fruits from those seeds. This is the wonderful
exactly.
part. We collected the fruits, all the, let me say, the harvest of, we had carrots, we had many kind of fruits, and we offered them to soup kitchens, to
Okay, Tofik,
people,
I told him
especially,
all of this. You were off camera at the time. I told him everything that you're saying.
okay, go ahead.
So this time I want you and Tofik, not now,
Yeah.
maybe in a week from now, you'll set I'll come anyway, but you'll set a time that will be good for the two of you. I want to involve, I want what I say, and Tofik
Mhm.
doesn't know this because I haven't said. I want to involve all of us, but I want our families involved too. I have a friend from
Mhm.
Long Island who's my best friend. She's gonna be a part of this. I have friends here. I'm gonna get Tofik to get Gordon involved. From the UN. He's the president of the African Congress. Now,
Mhm.
you and Tofik are gonna figure out how we can make money so we can be Robin Hood and rob from the rich and give to the poor. But if you're giving us a startup article, we're opening the world to new challenges. So, and Lynn's kids also not, we started a newsletter, which because
Mhm.
two of my favorite men left, Moravidi and RV didn't have time, our newsletter went dead. I'm going to revive that newsletter, maybe with George's help, because George is a writer. And Toby is going to get pictures for everything. I don't care if I have to bother these people. Everybody, I'd like your wife to be involved in some way, George. And in a crazy kind of way, not often. I know she's busy. I got my masters. I know what it's like. I would also like the
Mhm.
children involved. That would be
Mhm.
women of her age, and she's younger than I am. When I went for my master's, I was 50 something years old. I
Mm,
had the blessing of having my parents take care of my kids when I went to college at night. I took my master's at night and I took it on weekends. That's the only way I could. I was a mother. I didn't want to take advantage of my parents.
Mhm.
So, and then I go doing it with children is impossible. But doing it with a husband
Mhm.
like George who was so thoughtful is a blessing. I didn't have that kind of husband. I was a single parent. So what
Mhm.
I'm trying to say is to get your wife involved, and I will push our business, but especially if she is there to push it. Getting your children involved, George. I'm sure we could give them something that would make them feel important. Okay, so that's another way to describe it. Family involvement, whether Fran and Artie will be a part of it. We'll get Fran's granddaughter Peyton, and these are real people who have worked up the ladder. We weren't born rich, so my favorite joke is when my doctor says something. I said, I wasn't, well, you're a Norther, you run this. I said, I have nothing. I said, except for the joy for what I get from the free things that I do for other people. That got to me. When I said it, it got to me because it made me think, isn't it time that George and Lynn and Tofik made some money from the kind things? This guy is ready to give his last penny to anybody, Tofik. He's worse than we are. So what I want to think of is devise projects that help somebody like Renata who is starting a business
Mhm.
and could be at a better place than she is now because fell in love with a guy who doesn't make a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? A wonderful man. To me, the man is more important than the money. Same thing with Tofi. No one could have the talents that he has, and he's just an amazing person. Also, neither of us have any money. Isn't it time? So I thought that at the end of that article, you could write the end. This is the end. And you'll work with Tofik on it because he knows more than I do about this, about courses that we are giving. We will set up these courses to start. I wanted to start in February, but it didn't work. You'll set up these courses to start in the summer. We'll start them in July 5th because that's after Labor
Mhm.
Day. Free. The first course is free. I already have teachers. One will be George for civics.
Mhm.
We won't get paid for the first course, but after that, if you take a course, it will be a fee. And you and Tofik, oops, just something happened to my camera. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that. It's that.
Okay, I'm
Go ahead.
back. I'm back. I'm
Yeah.
not back because I can't see anybody, Tofik. Oh, here, I'm back. Okay. And you and George will set up the prices of the course. So the first course is a freebie because we're showing we really care. If we say we're philanthropists, we have to be philanthropists. So here are some of the courses, and we can tone them down. And you and Tofik we'll talk about that next week. We'll talk about the course of the courses. That's between you. He's a business manager. I don't deal with courses. That's Tofik's job. So here are some of the courses, if either of you think that there could be more added, but understand that if you're saying more added, you're teaching it. Citizenship,
Mhm.
why is, for George,
Mhm.
is the course I think he said he wanted is the importance of I think it was citizenship, not citizenship. The importance of, what did you say? The importance of teaching children, George, your course.
I have them in my notes somewhere. I've been
Okay, you
looking.
can come back and tell us. It's very good. That
Yeah.
one's, I don't want that one as a freebie. So think of something else. I want people to pay for that course. That course is worth it being paid for. So I'll go into my courses. My course that's a freebie, of course, is, anybody who knows me should know what it is. Let's test my husband, like in the newlywed game. Taufik, what would my free course be?
Uh,
One guess.
whenever we start, me and George to make a
I'm
plan
asking you
and
what you think my free course would be. If I were giving a free course, what would it be?
yeah,
Which
yeah,
course
talking
would
about
you?
social work and its impact on
Perfect. I
teaching
think,
people how to be responsible.
okay,
Yeah,
and that's why he's married to me. Outreach to teach. That's the name of that.
that's
Excellent.
it. Yeah, outreach to teach.
Outreach
Yeah,
to teach.
yeah.
How you can teach children to do special service projects, like from
Hmm.
Seed to Soup Kitchen. And those I can't charge for those courses because that's part of God's work. So how do you charge for God's work? I have
Okay,
a lot
I
of
have an
courses.
I have an idea.
Taufik,
Yeah.
what would be the course you would want to teach?
Uh, French and Arabic
Perfect. Now
courses.
you're going to get paid for those courses. I'm talking about an
Yeah.
unpaid course.
So we will make one unpaid course. You know
Okay,
why?
and then
Because
if they
in
want the
market,
second one, okay. So
sweetheart, let me finish.
go ahead.
Sweetheart, please. In marketing, when you set a product or service, okay, whether it's a course, whether it's I don't know, video, or, you should not make it for free, but just like a spot, advertising. You make a spot presenting your product or service
Yes.
and inviting people to check it with
Right. That's even a
free
better idea.
free trial, like in any digital marketing. Okay,
Okay.
so you make a
I know
between
that.
brackets free course to
Sample it.
attract people to get that. If you make it, let me say you said free course um, from the beginning, and it's not, it doesn't work like this, because
Okay, I
in
got it.
general, people in their subconscious mind and
Okay,
buyers,
okay,
when
okay.
they see that a product or service is for free, they don't, they become not interested in
Okay,
getting it.
Sophie, we
So
don't
it's
have
a
all day, and that's very, I agree with you
psychology
totally.
stuff. So free course as advertising spot. That's
I
it.
will still
And in
give
this free course, we talk about the whole courses
I
we do.
understand, Sophie, we don't have
And
all day. I'm trying to cut
what
it
is the
down.
benefit? What is the benefit that those
Courses
students or
bring.
people who
Okay,
will attend
wonderful.
can
I
have
like that better. That's a great idea.
value in
Okay,
these
in this,
courses? That's
George.
it.
Okay,
Mhm.
fine. In this, George, we can have a course for ladies' fashion. How you feel better if you look better, and your wife could give the course. We could get the whole family into it. We feel,
Mhm.
and women will buy that course because it's not something that it's something every woman they care more about looking beautiful than they do about what's inside. So I think that would be a great thing. I love the way he did his thing. Much better to do it Taufik's way. And we can have if you think of other courses, it's not about Lynn, it's about thinking. Okay, we have Renewed Dwight Hanker and Lynn Rosen. We'll be teaching about what did we say? It's not about special, yeah, about global involvement. Think locally, act globally with Lynn and Vinod. We'll talk about some of our accomplishments, we'll show pictures, and this is low work that has been done, so this is a piece of cake. Okay, we have for Tom, Mamari from Oman will be doing with Lynn and Asma El Breki They will be doing Mom and Me Across the Sea, my favorite course. How I got to know them and how our lives changed because of the global mixing of times. And of course, we have a course by Muhammad Hasnain, which will be, and he's very sick now, so I have his course. And one of us could teach it if he can't teach it, and give the money to him, which would be a good thing. He has well, Parkinson's disease, the onset of Parkinson's. I don't think one of us will teach it. It'll probably be Vinu because he knows more. It is such a wonderful course. It is about planting and why planting is helping to sustain. It's like that theory, give a man a fish and he won't learn, but teach him to fish and you change his life. So that's one course that's going to be wonderful. I don't know for sure we'll teach it. I am actually equipped to teach it, but I don't want to teach that course. So Vinod will probably step in because he always helps me. We have, of course, writing with Lynn and Sakina. Lynn and Suki from Morocco will be teaching a course on writing. And I was her mentor, so that's kind of a cool thing. And those are the ones that I think I'm keeping. But if you think of any other good courses of anything, I would like my husband to teach the course, but it isn't always easy. Because as wonderful as he is, believe me, he does all my videos and everything else. And that takes, I can't tell you, the two of us haven't slept one night this week because we're busy working. I'm working with the books, he's working with something else.
Yeah.
So I don't like to ask him to do too much, but I would love for him to teach young children photography. Photography is an art. It's also a gift of God because if you can help somebody by looking at the hungry, or you can say you can actually make somebody realize how good they even look, even if they perceive themselves as ugly, that is God's work. I thought that if you want, I'm saying it in front of George because if I said it alone, he'd say, I have so much work. I think that we would be giving a gift to Allah by doing that. So that's up to you, Topi, because you're more talented than anybody I know. So I just want to,
I'm not, I'm on the process of learning all the time. I'm not perfect.
You are
I just learn.
Allah's messenger. I've come to that conclusion. So you must, so you can tell me later on. So that would be, and I have a lot of other courses to go through, but I don't really trust those people. So I think we're going to keep it small for the first year. And then as we progress, we'll go along. That civics course, you are not doing it. We're going to make sure we got a lot of people for that. Now, like I said, next week, the two of you will discuss about payments, and then we'll talk about how teachers are going to get it, etc. That's really Taufik's job. But one thing I do want to say, George, is that in the summer, Fran is arranging it. I don't want to arrange anything without talking to you. I'm going to have a Saving Souls, and Taufik doesn't even know about this. I'm going to have a Saving Souls Women's Network meeting, which you will come to. It's going to say meet the authors. And there'll be like 6 authors. We have a lot of authors in Saving Souls Women's Network.
You're saying this is going to be at Hunter University?
Excuse me?
You said this is going to be at Hunter University?
No. I didn't. Maybe it was my slur for my Bell's palsy.
No.
It's going to be outdoors. It's going to be outdoors. Fran is booking the venue. It'll be I think it'll be probably in August or July. And what it will be, it'll be on the weekend because all of us work or have things we have to do during the week. It'll be on the weekend. And they can come in for free wherever it is. I have a friend in Barnes and Noble, all the way uptown. I'm going to go there one day with Taufik in about 2 weeks. I also have a friend that runs the New York Public Library, 42nd Street. Last time we did it was about 8 years ago. We worked on the little thing, like when you go all the way up the steps, it's like a little park thing. We worked there. We sold a lot of books.
Lynn, Lynn.
Let me finish, okay?
I just want to remind you that.
Let me know. Let me first finish.
You said what you said. Let George talk and give his point of view.
Everybody will talk. But just let me finish.
It was too long. You talk about everything and you repeat something that you have
Okay, at
said.
the end, he can ask any questions and so can you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm trying to explain to him where it is, and you weren't there, so you don't know. So it's
I
in the
am
middle.
here. I am here.
I said you
I'm
weren't at the
here.
library with us when we did this. It's in that
Okay,
little
go ahead.
thing, and we didn't have to pay the library anything because my friend was there, and you got to get the signed books, and you brought books with you. I didn't bring enough,
Mm,
but that's
mm,
okay. I myself personally made $200 for that day. So
mm.
George, do you think that's a sustainable, good idea?
It sounds excellent. Yeah,
You
it's
have any
definitely doable.
questions?
Well, my only concern with me is because I'm working, uh, as a substitute teacher. Today's the only day I was available, only because I'm not feeling well today, but I'll be in the rest of the week. But
You
that would
don't
be
work
my
on Sunday or Sunday, yes, Saturday.
Well,
You work on,
Saturdays I'm flexible. Some Saturdays I don't work to prepare for Sunday. And some Saturdays I'm able to
so
work.
what
And then
one
the evening,
Saturday that's available for you?
yeah, yeah, it
No,
depends.
I'll work around your schedule. I have no problem.
Yeah. So my evenings and afternoons are better than the daytime because I am looking for,
Afternoon is perfect.
yeah, I am looking for something eventually that will be sustainable.
Well, that's
Um,
what
you
I'm
know,
hoping for.
yes.
And Taoufik and I have no problem with Saturdays. So Saturday is a
Mm,
good day to do.
mm.
So as long as you're willing, George, I'm willing. And everybody else is virtual. I'll have to talk to Taoufik about how these people can also just put it in an office thing and we can show it virtually. We could have some
Mhm.
kind of meeting where we show it virtually. How's that sound, guys? Any questions?
Uh,
No, no
yeah,
questions so far.
yeah.
Okay, good.
I have something. I have something to add. Um,
Go ahead.
I wanna, brother George, suggest. You said what you have said,
Yes, I know.
sweetheart. Yeah, we wanna George also to give us some advice and some ideas about free stuff, the courses, the available time.
He
Because
gave
now
that. He did it already.
okay,
He
I'm
did
not
it.
talking about next. I'm talking globally and in long term because I will tell you some. We started discussing kind of course
Mhm.
before, and we had a separate meeting with George. We have separate meeting with Hasnain, with all, because this idea of courses was already,
Yes.
planned, but we did nothing. So I'm not criticizing anyone, but if you wanna do this course again, we should change the way we advertise it or we were supposed to plan and do. So
Okay, good.
by experience, I'm learning, as I told you, I'm learning all the time, but we should not talk about some stuff and stop it again. I guess
Okay,
this
George. George, tell him what you
let's
think.
sweetheart, I love you. Don't interrupt me. I'm just
Go ahead.
saying. Okay, thank you, sweetheart. So my point is that we don't want to talk about it now, and just after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, we will stop it, or we
No, we
won't
won't. This
have
time, I'm gonna.
enough plan. So to
Let's let
avoid this,
George talk.
we wanna really do it professionally. How is
Okay.
that?
Okay,
So
George, what do you think?
today is the meeting to discuss that with George. And I'm sure George would add value to this project, and he is more experienced and more,
Okay, okay,
supposed to advise us, to tell us.
okay.
So why
George
I
doesn't
told you
feel
let
good, so
George
I'm
talk.
trying to cut the meeting down.
I want a brother George to tell what he think, what
Okay,
Sure.
suggested,
good. So let's let
or
him. Now
in the
you're doing
part
all the
of
talking. Let's let
teaching,
him
in
talk.
the part of planning, in the part of marketing,
Okay,
because
thank
you
you.
told me 2 days ago, let me finish. You told me 2 days ago that George suggested the marketing stuff that we can do, and he told you Tawfiq can do that together. So this is the point. So we want to things be
Okay, so
professional.
look, George doesn't feel good. We don't want to spend all day going over the same things. George, tell us what you think.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's okay. So, but basically, I think,
Yeah.
I'm thinking a podcast might work where
Ooh,
Yeah.
you could introduce a whole
oh,
new
I love that.
community to what you're doing. I don't know how to do
He does.
Taoufik. That's your right, Taoufik. That's your area.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think what you should do is have a podcast
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
some, some ads on certain internet platforms,
Platforms, social, especially social platforms. Yeah.
social media platforms that will kind
Mhm.
of get the word out of what you're doing. And these things could be snippets rather than, like you say, start definitively and then not have the
Yeah.
Great
consistency.
Yeah.
idea.
So I, I,
It
so I
Great
think the
requires.
week,
idea. The best I've heard yet.
bi-monthly podcasts every 2 weeks.
Oh, it's
You
like
know,
Mehdi Hassan. I love him. That's great.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have
So
all the
I would,
tools. I have all the tools. I
yeah,
can
you have all the
create a
tools. So
podcast
See,
and
okay, I
we
have a
can make
question,
it one.
George.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tofik, and then I'll ask George.
I just, I just want to ask another question to George. We
Okay.
have
yes,
the podcast, we have the social media advertising, we have everything. But most important is the content of these courses. If
I have
you
a
let
question.
me marketing speaking, before making this social media marketing stuff, we should have a product. Here, the product is a service. So before take these marketing stuff, podcast is only a tool, but most important is the service itself. So
yeah,
before talking about these all advertising stuff or tools,
right.
till now, I don't see which service we should sell, or I don't like this sell, which service we should make those people
Awesome. Right.
get benefit and attend. So if I understand, my beloved Lynn talked about all that stuff that we can do, courses with kids, with women, but we need more details about that. And not only more details, we should make a business plan. It needs a business plan.
Definitely.
And the
Yeah,
business plan
George and
content,
Tofik.
content is to get detailed information about the course itself before doing anything else. Once we
Good
got
idea.
these kind of, once we have these all these courses, okay, we can then think about marketing or social
Yeah, it's not
media
happening
marketing.
tomorrow.
It's
We have
this
till December.
this second step is technical, and technical we can do it 1 to 3. It's my job. The problem is that we should invest time and professional tools in teaching, in
Yes,
we can even
definitely.
present a personal development tool, personal development. I'm sure brother
I said this is between me and
George
you.
is more
Probably is.
uh, you know perfectionist in this personal development.
Okay, that's great.
Through personal development, we will present our courses, but which kind of course? Now I don't understand. You just say,
Okay, Tofik, we'll go into
courses.
this in next week's meeting. I said we want to streamline today.
No, next
That's
week,
the
baby,
discussion.
please.
That's the
Let's,
George doesn't
l-
feel great. I don't want to take away his
no, it's
time.
I
okay. It's
know,
okay.
I know.
Right.
Go ahead.
But let me just say this. I think
Yeah,
Taufik is onto something in the sense that, in my case, because my
yeah,
wife, I know she's extra busy. She's doing her
Right.
coursework and she's teaching and everything. So she's going to be very sparse. But with me, what I can work on with the two of you is the content and
Exactly.
yeah,
That's wonderful.
and the content and the planning for the courses. I can help write them out, and
Wonderful.
then after that's done, and that won't take overnight. That may take a
No, we
protracted.
said we have till December.
yeah.
We
I
have till
know, I
December.
know, I know.
Okay,
But
this is
I,
George's time. Because I'm in the middle, afterwards, I have a question to ask, and you can go again. I
okay,
agree
So
with you.
So anyway, my point is I can help with the writing of the courses or the
Wonderful.
formulation of the courses. And then like Taoufik says, then would come the marketing and advertising. And the technical part could be the last part, because the
Yeah,
truth of the matter is, once you get the product, then you can go into the marketing and advertising of it, and then the technical part will
work itself
work
out.
itself out. Yeah.
Okay, I have my
Mhm.
question, then Tofik has a question. My
Mhm.
Yeah.
question is this. If let's say we
Mhm.
streamline it down, in the beginning, I think it's too much. We streamline it down, we start out with 4 courses. That's a
Okay.
pretty good stuff. We don't want to give
Mhm.
8 courses. We have to follow people. We don't know how dependable. I know George is dependable. I know Tofik is dependable.
Mhm.
I know Lynn is dependable. Now let's start out with our courses, let's say. My question to you,
Mhm.
George, not anybody
Mhm.
else, but to George, is do you do a podcast for all 4 of them, or do you mention all 4 of the courses in one podcast?
That's an interesting question. Wow. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. I think it sounds like one podcast should, depending on how long it is, 15, 30 minutes, an hour, you
That's
you could
great.
you could cover, yeah, you could cover all 4. I don't know the time of podcasts. I don't know if
Neither do
they're,
I. That'll be Tofik will find that out.
yeah, that could be most podcasts might be 30 minutes because of people's attention uh issues, or it could be 45 minutes or an hour. But I think
I will tell you.
just to
I will
streamline
tell you
every,
something. Yeah. The successful podcast in these kind of courses, especially when we start using the podcast, we won't use it once, but it will be it's marketing
ongoing, yeah.
too. So we
Mhm.
should be short, brother. I guess 30 minutes or 45
Great idea.
doesn't work. Doesn't work.
Perfect.
Attention
Mhm.
People
span.
with this New York minute or with this kind of speed, everyone, especially in digital stuff. People
30
don't have
minutes
the
sounds
time to
perfect.
people don't have the time to sit in front of their computer and learn. They have billions of other tools, but my point is that the maximum of a podcast, I said the maximum time is 15. But
It's too
during these
short.
15 minutes, between I can say more, between 5 and 15. But what should be done is that during these 5 to 15 minutes, we should do the right, information in it. If
Get
we
them to
choose, as
buy
you
in.
said, 30 or 45, yes, we could, but it's not at all successful.
Practical.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's
But
all
in
for
these
you. Not
15
ours. That's
minutes, we
great.
can,
Mhm.
compress all our information and our message
That
in
sounds great.
15, or there was some podcast. I follow many kind of podcasts, radios in every field. Yeah, they don't give more than 15 minutes. But if you see how they reach people, there were some podcasts who have millions of,
Mehdi
let me
Hassan,
say,
over
listener.
an
Yeah,
hour.
yeah, yeah. We wanna. That's why I said we wanna do it the professional way. So no worries, brother George. We can
Sounds
have
perfect.
less time. Yeah, go
Yes, that
ahead.
sounds
I'm sorry
perfect.
to interrupt you. Yeah,
No, that sounds
shorter.
perfect.
We
Okay,
should
George, I have
focus.
another question for you. Since he
Okay.
Tofik spoke, and I loved what he said. He's right. We speak to them too
Yeah.
much, it's overkill. We're giving them too much
Yeah.
information.
No, that's
Yeah.
okay.
Idea, Tofik, I agree. Okay, George, my question to you is, and
Yeah.
this is a little bit sensitive,
Hmm.
but good. Um, how about getting, you could say no right away, George, but I'm just saying, how about like visiting your church and you don't have a church, that's right. But how about
Yeah,
that
I
place?
don't. Mhm.
Yes, I just remember
Mhm.
that place we talked about that we wanted to contribute to. I'm going to contribute a lot of this stuff that I have here, Tofik, to a
You
friend
talking
of
about
yours.
the homeless shelter in Bushwick?
No, I'm talking about what we talked about the other day. We talked about giving. I said I had these clothes collections for
Mhm.
Easter and Passover, and you said you know exactly where you could donate it to. You remember
Oh,
now?
yeah, the church we attend. The
Okay.
church we attend would be fine, or any church, but the church we attend would probably be a good start.
Okay, so what we can do is Easter is the 12th,
Second
I think.
Sunday, is it the second Sunday?
Yeah, I think so. So we have plenty of time. We will have to meet you somewhere and give you what we have. So I have
Okay,
time. Okay, I just want to, I didn't
Okay.
want to go up because I hadn't told Tofik about that. But I tried, instead of my having to go look for a church here, since I'm not affiliated, whatever.
right,
As far as Passover goes, I have a place right across the street to do it.
right.
That place, now that you started something, George, and you did it yourself, so don't complain. That place
Okay,
in Bushwick haunts my mind. I can't tell you how many nights I've gone to sleep thinking about that place. We need to do something for that place.
you're talking
It is,
about the youth center?
I'm talking about, yeah, and I'm talking, we went, it's a traditional shelter, a transitional shelter.
Oh, the one in Bushwick where the lady was,
Yes.
yes.
I want to be able to do something for them. So I want you to think about what we could do. Doesn't involve money. Maybe we could bring some toys there or some
Okay,
books. We'd love to have enough books here. And we could present
okay,
it, all of us, you, Tofi, myself, Fran won't step into her short, so just all of us. And we could
yeah,
present it together whenever it was easier. Even if it's on the weekend,
okay,
whatever works for you, George. Our schedule is a lot, but it's giving back to God for all we have. We think
okay,
our lives are bad. Check the guy who's sitting on the street.
yes.
So I think you have a lot for an article, and I'm still going to send you some things. But I think that to all of us, giving so others can be living might be a good title. But you're the writer there, and that's fine. I don't do WordPress news or anything like that. Then also,
Okay,
my dear friend Roy Fall, after I embarrassed him yesterday about something, said he is only too willing to be a speaker at any event that we give, and we will give events. Any event, charity event, or any kind of event that we give um, to help other people. Because I've done a lot for him too. So he was in the same position you were in. So at one point. So we can definitely depend on him. And in the summer, I don't know, we'll
okay,
go over your schedules, Tofik's schedule, and my schedule. We will do some kind of an event in All Souls Church, which is my favorite church of all times. It's gorgeous. It's in Upper Manhattan, near the Lenox Hill area. And you know, I only have to pay like 200 for a room. And we can invite wealthy, once again, the Robin Hood theory. And I know plenty of those people too. They don't help me, but they're going to help me. And we'll have some people to discuss when kids. I'm going to do a silent auction, one of which will be spend 2 hours as Roy Paul. Any woman will bid on him because he's gorgeous. Last time I got $200 bid just for him. So I can donate a package of my books and put like 4 different books and wrap them up. Tofik can donate a day of learning about videography. I'm just giving things. I'm not saying we have to. Georgia could donate whatever you have to donate. The point is that's a good way of giving so others can be living, and we get the money back and we put it into more charity work. We take what we need. Charity begins at home. We take what we need, but then we put it into our work. And I think
yeah,
that's important. So Tofik will go with me, and when we have more information, first we'll talk to you about free dates. So we'll have another meeting
okay.
next week. We'll try to keep it within the hour. Today we were a little bit over, but it doesn't matter. And does anybody, before we leave, I want to tell you what an honor it is to work with both of you. And yes, Tofik, I get very impassioned with my projects, and I don't. But I always let people speak, but I have to get everything out or I forget it. It's called old age senility. I want to thank George for his prayers when I was sick. I can't thank him enough. And Tofik for the
course.
best care in the world. You both have wonderful
Love
ideas.
you. Love you.
Mwah.
Thank you.
Any other questions? And then we can let you
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, sorry, I was just before asking the question. I have no question, but I will let brother George speak. But one one important and so focusing thing. So after we finish, what's next? You can summarize, Lynn, and what we will do. You said, sweetheart, that next week we'll have another meeting, right? So what we have done today and what's next, and please focus on courses planning. That's it. That's all I have to say.
I
When you
George will
finish,
answer that
what's
one.
next? What's
George,
next? Yeah.
George, do you have an answer?
Yes, George.
Because I have one, but I want you to go.
Well, I would think beginning to work on the coursework,
Hmm.
to begin to
Okay.
lay the groundwork for what the 4 courses will
I have
be,
a lot of
and
that
then
work
writing
I've
the
done already.
curriculum. Yeah, writing the curriculum
Yeah.
for them. And as Taoufik says, that's the
That's the
product
heart
before
of
you market
that's
it.
the meat and
Yeah.
potatoes. Okay,
Yeah.
George, also, I think that we can start thinking about the article. I'll send you
Mhm.
some other things. And when you're ready, let me know. And
Okay.
that's all I should say. He answered that question. So I think now we are ready to go. Have a wonderful day, George, with your
You
lovely wife.
too. Thank
And
you.
And George, we're still waiting for you to come with your wife. We don't accept you alone.
okay,
Bring your wife.
okay, there's something
And
to
you
be said that you don't know. I invited Sir Gordon to come to dinner, the head of the president of the African Congress.
wow.
Morning, listen, I invited him to dinner, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after. He is somebody you want to know, George. He is somebody who can get you into certain schools, like the UN school, and maybe teach them. You don't judge by color, you judge by the heart. So I
Sure.
invited Gordon this morning. Gordon, he said he'll get back to me if he comes Saturday, not this week, but the week after, and you have time. You let
I
me
will
know.
definitely, definitely make it work. And Lynn, what I'll do is I'll email you my resume and my bio.
I have it. You know how many times you sent it to me?
I think it's been updated. So I'll
Yeah,
send it
you
to you
sent me
again.
last week. You sent me an updated copy. You don't even remember.
You
You
said,
see,
Okay.
it's just a couple of days ago I got it, so I have it.
sweetheart,
Another senior
sweet-
moment. You see that, Sophie? It's not only me. And you might also meet my brother from another mother, Sadiq Roy, who I'm very close with. He might come if he's in town, and he's not. He's the ambassador to Sierra Leone from the United States.
he met
Okay.
him before, and you met Siddiq before, right?
I
He
think so.
was,
Yes,
Yeah.
Sadiq at my
yeah,
wedding breakfast.
he was our at our wedding party when I first came
Yes,
here.
George met him.
Oh, nice. I met him. Yes.
You'll meet
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
So
important people, whatever, whether it be next Saturday, the Saturday after, whatever it is, they'll come and you'll meet some
yeah,
very wonderful
yeah.
but very important people. Think of the
Wonderful.
Robin Hood theory because Tofik
Wonderful.
talks with his heart and
Thank
he'll
you.
keep me talking with my head because otherwise I could get carried away totally. So
Thank you.
I I have to see what date they say yes to, and then I would love to meet the wife. But I think that this will be the most important thing to further your career. It's going to take
Thank
a
you.
while, as Tofik said. It's going to take more than a New York minute to make these courses start. But I have all the patience because the stuff that would annoy me, you're working along with George, and I'm doing my own writing and my own thing while the two of you are working.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
because I have so many books coming out, and I have so many people asking me for favors and giving, and we have to make an arrangement for the first 2 weeks in August for me to get all the stuff I have to you, or if you all have to meet us, because there's no way that I can mail it.
Right.
So we'll talk about it. So I still think
Okay.
that next week is a good way to further it. And like George said, we should talk about course development and not give it up. And I don't intend to give it up because I needed to play Robin Hood, not only for me and for you and for Tophy, but for those poor kids who were sitting out there hungry, those shelter kids, those kids that were sent from another country that people look at and hate because they're immigrants. Why should we have to pay this because of them? Those are the kids people I'm doing it for.
Yeah.
And if we give up, then how good are we? So George, your main focus now is
Right.
the article. The article.
Okay.
Because once they
Yeah.
Okay.
put this out on the ground, we're ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay, have a
Okay.
great day. Thank
You
you for your
too.
help,
And
gentlemen.
Taoufik, God
Oh,
bless
thank
you both. And
God
my
bless
wife
Thank
you
you.
all.
sends her regards.
Okay, honey, we'll see
See you
you
next
soon.
week. See you next week. See you next
See you
week.
next
Okay,
week.
Bye-bye.
bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Mwah.
Bye-bye.